You ever think about what other people think about you? Well, in the most sane way possible, I invited my friends to my funeral to see what they would say after I died. And it went off the rails in the most crazy way possible.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. I'm Abby. Some of you know me as Eric's manager. Our guests tonight know me as a control freak. And most of you probably know me as the smarter, funnier, better looking, just all around more improved PointCrow. Regardless, I am thrilled to be here tonight as the host of this funeral, and thank you all for being here in chat as well. I know it's a school night for you guys. As this is Eric's funeral, I will be sure to keep it quick, awkward, and unsatisfying. Each of our esteemed guests here will be giving a eulogy tonight that my boss, PointCrow, deeply deserves, and a few of them will be sending him off with a lovely parting gift, so look forward to that. While it may be hard for you to accept that Eric is gone, I personally can find some peace tonight knowing that his final resting place is where he felt the most comfortable, on sheets he never bothered to wash. This intro has already been longer than any of Eric's relationships, so let's officially start the roast, shall we? Our first speech of the night is going to be from none other than the great dougdoug. Doug is a great content creator. He's known for making videos like Skyrim, but if I say dragon, then 10 dragons spawn, and GTA 5, but I'm clearly out of good ideas. Doug recently did an amazing stream where he just raised money for the Monterey Bay Aquarium. He raised over $300,000 for ocean conservation. That's fantastic. I'm hoping next he does a stream where he rehabilitates streamers into productive members of society. No?
Too expensive.
Too expensive, yeah, you're fair. Doug and I, it's actually really nice. Doug and I have gotten to know each other pretty well over the last couple years. We've been working together, and he's confided in me that he struggles with insomnia, which is really debilitating. It's a big issue. I always just say to him, I would lose sleep too if my audience acted like that. Last time Doug was in town, he asked if we were stocked up with his favorite drink, which is olive oil. Of course we were. Just like Doug, Eric always keeps it extra virgin in our apartment. Anyway, let's get dougdoug up here, everybody.
Let's go, Doug.
It's an honor to be up here celebrating the life of Eric PointCrow. There's no further proof of Eric's impact than of the esteemed guests at his funeral. Ludwig's girlfriend, Ludwig's friend, PointCrow's roommate, and 2 Twitch affiliates. PointCrow first met Nandre when the Virgins Anonymous accidentally booked the same conference room as the Bald Men Association. Touching the pubic length hairs on Nandre's head was the closest he ever got to being laid. They never actually spoke again because Nandre has been stuck solving a 15-piece puzzle for the last 9 months. But he was invited here because his laugh is so loud it might make this event actually seem funny. Samwitch was initially befriended by PointCrow when he mistook her for Rogue from X-Men, until he realized she's just a meth addict. Sam then cemented her place on PointCrow streams as the token girl, but he was disappointed to realize she sounds and looks like a man anyways. And how could we forget Stanz?
Oh no.
Actually, it's pretty easy if Ludwig isn't there. Stanz is world-renowned for his boxing career, consisting of a single round before he got a boo-boo. And he and PointCrow bonded over their shared experience of being beaten up by guys like me in high school. PointCrow became infamous for his extremely parasocial relationship with Stanz that made all other adults uncomfortable and embarrassed for them. Topped only by Cutie and Taylor Swift. Cutie is famous for watching the Great British Bake Off and deciding to make it much worse. Up until she saw the Academy Awards and decided to make them much worse. Up until she saw the Met Gala and has decided to make it much worse. I look forward to her upcoming reimagining of January 6th with Hassan as Nancy Pelosi.
It's gonna be good.
Let's just say I'd watch deep fake porn of that. Cutie, I don't really know you that well, but you listed out some potential roast topics on Discord, so I'll just go ahead and list those off. You're depressed, you're ugly, your podcast sucks, and your mom's dead.
You got it.
And finally, we have Abby, who heroically began taking care of PointCrow after he was deemed unfit to release to the wild. Without her daily bottle feedings and diaper changes, PointCrow never would have made it, as long as he did. Abby, I just learned that you recently got LASIK eye surgery, which explains why Eric's events look so fucking bad. I also recently learned you're bisexual, which is a bit cruel because Eric did not need more competition in his dating life. But despite all that, we appreciate your work in honoring Eric. I now want to take a moment to remember the full life and accomplishments of Eric PointCrow. Let's start at the beginning. He grew up in a loving family nest. When running his character creator, Eric's parents' computer crashed before they could give him a normal height or a sense of humor. As a frustrated boy, he tried to mod his micro-penis to a more acceptable length. But upon failing, decided to start modding video games instead, thus beginning his lifelong love for making illegal Zelda mods. Inspired, he went on to college and earned an engineering degree, but based on the quality of his code that I've seen, I'm fairly certain it was Trump University. Sadly, after a full 4 years of missed opportunities, Eric was diagnosed with a severe and terminal case of virginity. As such, he was accepted into the Make-A-Wish program. When asked for his wish, he said he wanted to be a Twitch streamer. And knowing he could never entertain people on actual merit, Make-A-Wish paid for thousands of extras to show up in his channel every day and make him think he was funny.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sadly, this wonderful career came to a crashing halt when Nintendo found out he had made
a multiplayer mod for Zelda Breath of the Wild. According to Nintendo, this was the worst thing to happen to Japan since Hiroshima.
But like a virgin Oppenheimer, PointCrow wouldn't put the genie back in the bottle. So Nintendo told Eric they wanted nothing to do with him, just like every girl he's tried to date. But he still refused to stop modding.
Oh my God.
So Nintendo took down his Zelda videos, but he still refused to stop. Finally, Nintendo hired Ganondorf as an assassin, who snuck into his bedroom and repeatedly punched him in the balls like he did to Disguised Toast. Until finally, Eric PointCrow passed away. Thus, Nintendo tragically took PointCrow and his Zelda videos away from us. But at least it'll be easy for us to move on with our lives and forget about him, since they removed all of his actually good videos. You know, it comes as a shock to me that the man who fails at literally every single video game challenge was the first of my friends to die. But sometimes in the boxing match of life, you get unexpectedly punched in the balls in a blatant cheap shot. And then you miss checkmate.
Okay.
All you can do in this situation is grieve, and then press the respawn button. So in memory of Eric, I offer this.
Oh, what is this?
Copyright claim from Nintendo. Taking ownership of Eric's body.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, dear God.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Doug. Appreciate that and kind words. Honestly, I'm just so grateful that Samwitch is here with us tonight. Can I get yeah. As Doug mentioned, Sam has saved the day with her clever quips and by being the token female in Eric's content. Her lips also double as a emergency flotation device in a water landing. Thank you. One of the main jokes in Sam's stream, and one that you'll hear a lot tonight, is about Sam's divorce. But honestly, I think we should give that guy a break. If my spouse said that they wanted to make TikToks and start streaming for a living, I would walk too. Sam, we love you more than any spouse ever has. Please get up here.
Yeah!
Hello. I'm happy to be here to celebrate Eric and all of his accomplishments. We're gonna kind of miss him dearly. I want to thank Abby for gathering together such a wonderful group of people, and also Stanz. Me and Eric have been friends for almost 3 years. I think he's one of my oldest online friends and one of the first male streamers with a high sub count to slide into my DMs. It really is an honor honored to be here speaking amongst so many accomplished streamers I've looked up to for so many years. I take a lot of pride in the fact that I was invited, even though I don't have enough money to pay someone to write my roast for me. Barry, you did a really good job on Doug's, so thank you. I'm glad to see Stanz filled in last second for Slime. Slime couldn't be here, so they filled in his spot with the one person that makes Eric look like his parents didn't pay for a college degree that he'd never use more. I'm just kidding. You're perfectly nice. I'm just going hard on you because I know you'll use this for React content for the next week. So, hello, Stanz's Twitch chat, and also his YouTube, and also his other YouTube channel. I'm excited for him to get up here. I always thought the closest thing Stanz would get to a good roast was a new season of MasterChef, but I could be wrong. I just think that it would be wild if I got my feelings hurt by somebody that looks like a white-collar version of Little Dicky. I do wish that Slime was here. He's one of the kindest people I know that also looks like he has a fallout shelter under his house. I think it's kind of funny that people think that he was my ex-husband because of the PointCrow party. I like to play into it because it's funny to think that Slime was actually married. I disagree with that, though. I think he's a perfectly great partner unless you want to take the kids to the pool or go boating on the weekend or get through TSA quickly. It would be fun to have Cutie and Slime and Stanz here all together. We could have Ludwig come, and then we could roll out his coattails like a red carpet, and they could all walk down it. And then I could let my coattails down, and Nandre could roll down it like Gene Wilder from Willy Wonka. Cutie's here. She's genuinely one of the hardest working people on the platform. It's really special that she's able to get so many people and talented people and Stanz in a room together. I used to think that she didn't like me, though, when I first met her. I figured that there were too many cooks in the token female streamer kitchen. But then she baked me a cake, and I realized that some women are actually in their best form in the kitchen. So I'm surprised that Doug showed up in person. I assumed that my roommate Barry would show up with ChatGPT on a laptop duct taped to his chest like a bomb. And honestly, I don't know if I'd be more or less intimidated if he had AI write a speech. At least it would be words and not pics, so Cutie, you'd be safe. And Doug also just moved to LA, which is exciting. So ladies, if you come across his Tinder profile, make sure you send him a CAPTCHA and make sure that it's actually him. If he replies like robotic or off-putting, it probably is him. I realized walking in here today that Eric basically invited everybody that looks like they would work at a corporate office. Stanz and Doug look like the sales guys that peaked in high school sports. Cutie looks like the customer service rep that would get mad at you for using too many staples. Nandre looks like the guy that would take your pad thai from the break room. Abby looks like she plans holiday parties where she tells everyone they can let loose but won't let anybody drink and complains. And then Slime looks like the homeless guy who lives in the parking lot. Like I said, my roommate works for Doug, and that's cool because I get to hear about all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Doug is genuinely one of the most creative people that I know, but both of my roommates are here. I live with Nan and also Barry. I feel really in my element having Nandre in the house because I was afraid when I got divorced that I would forget how to do somebody else's dishes, but it's just like being in that same vein, Nandre might be the only person in the world getting less sex than my ex-husband did while we were married, so that is kind of incredible. Nan is one of the funniest people I know. He's effortlessly silly and quick-witted. He's also a great multitasker. For example, he can be streaming while having 10 other streams open so he can clout ass in everybody's stream at the same time. He recently got banned on Twitter or X or whatever. I still don't fully understand why he got banned. I think Twitter was confused that a bald Eddie Burback impersonator wouldn't stop tweeting at Hassan. So. Abby, you're an angel. I don't even really want to say anything mean about you. The silver lining about Eric's passing is that you won't have to carry a baby monitor around with you at all times.
Amen. Amen.
There really aren't too many things that I could say that would hit harder, though, than if you Google PointCrow girlfriend, you are the first top search result. And I hate that for you. Hopefully he wrote you into the whale, so if there's anything left after PointCrow party with no sponsors, you can get the bag.
There's not.
Unfortunately, I think the only thing you're going to inherit are a bunch of manga with the pages stuck together. So. No, but Eric is one of my good friends. He invites me to do big collabs and fun projects, not just because I'm the only woman that'll reply to his DMs. I forgot to mention that I cut Doug's hair yesterday. Looks great. Thank you. Thank you. And I've cut Eric's hair before, too. He's expressed his concern with his receding hairline a few times, which explains why he invited Nandre and Slime. But Slime didn't show up, so you are the second most bald person in the room again, so I'm sorry. He usually calls me when he needs a new Tinder profile, when he needs a haircut, so that's good. I don't want to take any jabs at Eric's height, because I know it's a point of insecurity. Personally, I think it's low-hanging fruit, and it'd be stooping too low. I'm also afraid it would go right over his head, so. And I know I have a gift. I know a lot of us think that Eric is a virgin, so I'd like to make a statement that I don't think that's true, but I got him a gift, so I'd like to give that to you. Now, this may be hard to see, but I've already kind of prepped it for you. Here.
It has a condom on it.
I got this for you because next time Nintendo fucks you, I want you to use protection. Thank you.
Oh my God, what is that? Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. That was really gross, honestly. And I watched her put it on in backstage, and it was just as gross. We are, I guess, so lucky to have Stanz able to join us tonight. I'm shocked. Stanz, as you guys know, is stepping in for Slime tonight. Big shout out to him for stepping up. Appreciate it. Yeah. Something I actually respect a lot about Stanz is that he's a vegetarian. It's very cool. This is mainly because Stanz is what I imagine Eric would look like if he ever ate vegetables. But I'm actually really surprised.
That was really funny. That one fucked me up, man.
Glad to hear it. I'm really surprised that Stanz agreed to be here tonight. Normally, it'd be really hard to catch him between his full-time job position up Ludwig's ass. And in our audience tonight, Stanz's wife, Rochelle, is here. I love Rochelle, I adore her, but I wasn't really surprised to hear that Stanz was married. Just another thing that Northern Lion did first. Stanz, everybody, welcome up to the stage.
How's it going? Give it up for Abby.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Abby works for PointCrow. She's his manager, and she does everything for him, which I would be extremely embarrassed to admit when I look at the panel she got here today. I think 2 of them are still grinding for Partner Plus. You're gonna get there, guys. I don't like being mean to Abby. She's a bi queen, and in 2023, it's not okay to make fun of the LGBTQ. But I'm gonna ask you guys for permission because she's such a fucking dork. I actually feel really bad for Abby. For those of you that don't know, she had to move the location of this roast 3 times because they were within 50 feet of a school and Nandre wasn't allowed to be here. You're doing God's work. Speaking of Sam and Nandre, you're roommates. And you share everything. But Nandre, it'd be great if you could give Sam her boobs back. It's actually crazy, Sam, that you live with Nandre and Barry. No streamers with steady incomes would give you a chance. We also have dougdoug, who had to tap out of the fast food challenge because McDonald's obliterated his asshole. Which is really funny because Sam's ex-husband tapped out of their marriage when her neighbor Donald obliterated hers. There's actually a lot of similarities amongst the cast here. Dougdoug, PointCrow, both coders. Him and Sam, both divorced. Him and Cutie both look like they want to kill themselves. And him and Nandre should. Nandre, you've been bald for so long, Make-A-Wish is asking for your career back. Nandre has an iconic mustache. Oh wait, no, sorry, I read that wrong. Nandre has a pedophilic mustache.
We have the same mustache.
Earlier this year, Nan did the fast food challenge with Will, Neff, Hassan, and Cutie, which is really cool. He's finally moving up in the world. I thought it was because Hassan likes charity work, but it was actually because Firan needed a token fat guy. Which brings me to Cutie. I am so glad my friend Ludwig has Cutie. It's good that he can't get everything he wants. Cutie says she's afraid of flying, but I think she's just afraid of what'll happen if she lands somewhere her exes have a restraining order. It's crazy to me that Cutie grew up Mormon and Abby's the biggest virgin here. And I think, knowing her, I can speak for Cutie when I say that if one of her events did as bad as one of PointCrow's events, she'd be in the coffin. Which brings me to the man of the hour. I personally am really not a fan of punching down on people, but it's hard when two of the streamers here are basically affiliates and Eric's 4'11". Eric is so short, we had to custom order the coffin from Fisher Price. Don't worry, what Eric lacks in height, he makes up for by having a huge library of videos that no one wants to watch. Eric, how the fuck do you have 6 employees and your only idea is play Nintendo game fast? Which is unfair, because we're here and this is semi-unique content. I was surprised because I didn't see Small Ant do it first. And finally, you guys know I'm filling in for Slime, so I did a lot of research. I didn't have a lot of time, but I wanted to make sure I did an okay job. And I found out something that scared me. Something that, I don't want to speak ill of the dead, but the only reason PointCrow isn't a convicted pedophile is because when Chris Hansen showed up, he thought he was the kid. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Very nice.
Nandre's here, everybody. We know Nandre's here. We know Nandre's here. Nandre is one of the funniest looking people up here tonight.
They put him on the end for a reason.
You're definitely not confused by this point as to who Nandre is, but if you are, just listen for the Tickle Me Elmo that's been left out in the sun too long. There it is. There's that contagious laugh. Don't worry, we tested him for everything before he came in. All negative, including the IQ test.
Nan is really like the poor man's XQC. He has all of the low effort React content.
All of the yelling, none of the money. No, but really, I love Nandre and his 3 jokes. It's 3 more than Eric has. He's not today, but Nandre often wears hats on stream to cover the fact that he is, in fact, bald. But I think it's really commendable that the hat is putting in more work than you are. A lot of the guests that are here today were involved in Eric's event, PointCrow Party. You might have seen it. You might have not seen it.
You don't have to include that part.
None are more infamous than Nandre here. The clip of Ethan Nestor and Nandre sharing a passionate kiss went viral. Thousands of people saw it and then promptly wanted to unsee it. Ethan actually couldn't be here tonight. He's busy receiving a Medal of Valor for doing what nobody else could. I'd like to welcome counterfeit Dr. Phil to the stage, everybody.
What's going on?
This is great, you know. I have the lowest CCV here, so I can just go crazy. You know? Yeah, if you didn't know already, my name's Nandre, and I gotta raise this mic. But just take a look at this place, man. Isn't this awesome with all these people here, these great streamers, all their viewers and stuff? I'm the only person who didn't have enough leverage to get scammed by Slicker, so that's kind of cool. Abby, you're the best. Leave it up to you to make a lineup of roasters that's entirely cishet and white, you know? This is basically a kick board meeting, isn't it? Abby and Eric have a very interesting relationship. One of the ways you know Abby is actually Eric's mom is because he breastfeeds from her. That's not a joke.
That is a joke. You can't say
Abby
that
looks
out
like
loud.
she repeated senior year at Hogwarts 4 times just because she wanted to.
That's a good one.
Abby put on her things that she can be roasted for that she is short. Hey, Abby, you're short. The only person here giving any bi energy is actually Sam. But Abby's the only one who actually likes eating pussy on this entire panel. Nathan, my boy. I got a couple messages for you. Logic Defender made you. The Veil made you. Donald John'll made you. Rochelle owns you.
No!
Ludwig owns you. Kent owns you. And Atrioc hella owns you, bro. Stanz has never gotten a sloth in Super Auto Pets. He claims this is because his game files are corrupted, when it's because, just like the sloth, nobody wants you, man. You weren't even wanted for this event. But PointCrow could not have chosen a better backup to bring in here over Slime, that bald Jewish Sith Lord looking ass. Legal Eagle recently called you out for poor React Andy behavior, but the only thing you should be reacting to is me calling you a piece of shit. That was the one. You might not know this, but Stan was a band kid, yeah, and that's where he met his wife on the drum line. That's not a joke, but Cutie! Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, you've been doing good. Keep it up. Yeah.
If Cutie was a Pokemon, she would just evolve into just pearly things. And then she would evolve into a cake. I did some investigating about Cutie's deepfakes, and it really was.
Look like it.
They were just her being photoshopped into the January 6th insurrection. And upon further investigation, those were just real. Go get 'em, Blair. Many Twitch podcasts got their names because what it's like to have intercourse with Cutie. Whine about it, Fear and Loathing, and The Yard. Use your imagination on that last one. In fact, she only sleeps with Ludwig because Aiden, Nick, and Slime all rejected you. And things didn't work out with Slicker.
That's not true. I've slept with all of them.
Cutie was gonna be on The Yard, but she's a girl.
True.
So instead, she decided to do a podcast with someone who would rather talk to birds most of the time.
True.
Cutie also refuses to eat any sandwiches that have sauce on it. That's not a joke. She doesn't eat sauce.
Oh, you got me!
Some people like to think of you as the Simon Cowell of Twitch because you host a lot of events and game shows. But I think it's just because you're mean to me sometimes and I don't like it. One other thing about Cutie is she likes to bake a lot. And I mean fat joints, baby. Hey, oh!
I never spoke.
Doug. Doug, the only person up here with a hairpiece so bad that they might actually be more bald than me. I did a lot of preparation for your section of tonight's speeches, Doug. I took every line of dialogue from every YouTube video you have ever made and uploaded it to ChatGPT to summarize it for me, and it told me this: Doug has no balls. I investigated this further and I found some alarming discoveries. Apparently, eating keto diets is one of the best ways to help grow some balls. I also saw on your LinkedIn page that one of your AI-generated endorsements is that you don't have balls. Maybe this no balls thing would be easier if I explained it with food. Many people think bell peppers are actually a fruit, but I'm pretty sure the bell pepper you use as a logo is actually one of your balls. No, I feel like I've roasted you about your balls a lot here, and I kind of feel bad. So I thought I would give you a free video idea. It's called Stream Ends When I Beat GTA 5 Chaos Mod, but I have no balls. Your chat loves to talk about divorce. Your chat loves to talk about divorce, but I'm convinced it's not because you were married, but because your dick chef got divorced from your balls. My darling roommate Sam, my best friend. Sam thought movies had commercial breaks in them until she was 20 years old. That's not even a bit. She only watched movies on VHS in a log cabin until she was 20. That's not a joke. She's also really, really short. That's not a joke either. Sam treats the majority of video games she plays on stream like how she treats marriages. She never finishes them. Sam often leaves a bag of Barry's chips open overnight on the kitchen counter. When Barry asked her to stop, she said she likes eating stale chips. That's not a joke. When we first moved to LA, we thought we had a centipede infestation, okay? It actually was just all of Sam's fake eyelashes she leaves around the house. I've seen them in the sink, in the toilet, even on loaves of bread. That's not a joke. Sam has weird-looking feet. That's not a joke. Sam once went to see the world's most famous guitarist live. She left after the opener because they both had curly hair and she got confused. That's not a joke. She just didn't know what he looked like or that concerts have openers.
They both look like Stanz.
They did both look like Stanz. But my favorite thing about Sam is that once she brought a joint to smoke on a cruise ship in her ass cheeks, which is one of the most incredible crimes ever committed because Sam has about as much ass as Flat Stanley.
That's not a joke.
That's not a joke. And my boy, the big crow guy, give it up. Eric is one of the most famous Twitch and YouTube personalities, holding thousands of subscribers, millions of views, and makes tons of money, and my mom still has no idea who the fuck you are. When Eric has sex, he does not play music. He plays his own YouTube videos because that's the only way he can get a boner. Eric drinks enough Capri Sun that his jizz is silver like the Capri Sun guy. That's not a joke. Hey, Eric, you seem like a guy who uses 7-in-1 shampoo. Get a life, buddy. Eric used to do crew in college. If you're unfamiliar with the sport, it means Eric was gay baiting way before he started tweeting about Sion's fish cock. Dude, you kind of look like the default LinkedIn profile picture. Eric, you kind of have a torrid romantic history. Luckily, I've procured some pictures of your exes. Example number 1.
What the fuck is this?
Example number 2. And of course, your favorite, number 3.
I don't.
Hey, man. Hold on.
I don't want these.
Eric and Abby are kind of like Jeff Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Except, instead of having weird sex islands, they just rob Nintendo of IP. One of my favorite parts about Eric is his enthusiasm for content that fucking sucks. Stanz is a big fan. Have you heard him talk about that cookie clicker video? Shut up, dude. The only worst kept secret besides Eric and Abby's secret romance
That's literally not
is that they have replaced tortellini 3 times. That is not a joke. Sorry, I had to reveal that one. And last but not least, Eric's pride and joy, the shelves of anime in his room. And I just have one thing to say to you about that, Eric. Fuck you, nerd.
That's your closer?
Hey, man. I got you a little present so we can match.
Oh, beautiful. Oh. Woo! Oh, man. That got me going.
I'm so glad that Cutie Cinderella could join us tonight, you guys. Are you guys excited? Are you guys excited? Yeah.
I'm so dead.
Cutie is known for throwing hugely popular events like the Streamer Awards, which Eric and I have been to twice. But she's so busy normally, it's really hard to get her to come to things. She's so busy normally that I thought we'd have to digitally put her face onto someone else's body. She didn't laugh. Oh my God, she didn't laugh.
I think it's a good option.
Okay. Guys, I'm fucking terrified of Cutie. I'm fucking so scared of her. I am always really worried about fucking something up in front of Cutie. But then I listen to her talk on any podcast about her mental health, and I'm like, nothing could be more fucked than that. It's actually fine. It's actually fine. Give it up for Bargain Bin Taylor Swift, everybody.
Woo! Let's go. I loved you in 1987.
Why are you laughing, Nandre?
It's funny.
Oh my goodness, it's been so long since I've done one of these, but the nice thing about this one is it's on PointCrow's channel, so no one's gonna see it. If you guys don't know Abby, a lot of the fans have met her because whenever they meet PointCrow, they say, hey, can you take my picture with him? Abby calls herself the brains behind PointCrow, which is probably the meanest thing you can say about yourself.
Hey.
Yeah. It's hard to roast Abby because Abby's like the type of person that apologizes to inanimate objects when she runs into them. She's like, oh my God. So sorry. Jesus Christ. I was really, really excited when I got invited to PointCrow's funeral today, and then I realized he's not actually dead. PointCrow had to fake his death to get us here today, and only 6 people showed up. Usually when people throw a roast, a friend does it as a surprise, so it makes sense that you had to pay Abby to do it. Yeah, it's okay. This is the hardest roast I've ever done because this group is just like a bunch of white bread. You should have called it a toast. Do you have any non-white friends?
I have like one.
Yeah.
Adam's not. We're good.
He works for you.
Oh, well.
Yikes. Yikes alert. Stanz and dougdoug are here. It's like God copy and pasted a person with extra paste. Between Stanz, dougdoug, and nandre, we have enough mustaches. You guys could molest a whole kindergarten. Dougdoug and Stanz look like members of the Klan if they started letting gay guys in. Stanz. If you haven't heard of him, makes sense. He's had an amazing career, genuinely. Like that time your friend got that big YouTube deal. And that time your friend started like an esports org. And the time your friend won Streamer of the Year. That was big for you.
That was big for me.
That was big for you. A fun fact about Stanz is he never has to wear sunscreen because of the shadow he lives in. Stanz looks like Harry Potter, but instead of living under the stairs, he still lives in the closet. Stanz, you and I have something in common. A lot of people say that we're riding on Ludwig's coattails. Little do they know that only one of us have to suck his dick still. You can borrow my knee pads, don't worry.
No, really though, Stanz is so nice. He's the kind of guy that if you cheated on him, he'd bring you flowers and ask if you were doing okay. Doug's profile picture is a bell pepper, which is ironic since the hottest spice he adds to his food is olive oil. Some people might not know that you were very accomplished before Twitch. You graduated from UC Berkeley, you were a programmer for EA, and you even used to do broadcasting for esports. And I've wondered, since you started streaming, what do your parents tell people you do? They're not proud. Dougdoug makes his Twitch chat do so much work that the FBI started investigating him for child labor. He has so many children working for him that Nike reached out. They're like, how can we recruit? Dougdoug doesn't use LinkedIn. He uses Club Penguin for interviews to try to find his employees. Last year at the Streamer Awards, Dougdoug won League of Their Own. But I've been meaning to tell you guys, it's not even a real award. It's like being extra sweet to the school shooter, so hopefully he spares you. I didn't want to get caught under a table being like, Mario Randomizer is really good, I promise. So I hope you like your trophy, Nandre. I figured since Dougdoug brought fast food to Twitch that it makes sense to go to you next. Nandre's fat, but nobody told his clothes. It works out though, because you look like a Jewish Buddha. All of my jokes are about how Nandre looks. If you don't know who he is, you might remember him from Toy Story 2. He was the guy in the chicken costume. He's like if Danny DeVito and Danny DeVito had a child. You're proof that evolution can sometimes take a coffee break.
Oh my God.
And I would like to make it very clear for Twitter that wasn't an anti-Semitic joke. I just think he's ugly. Nandre dresses like an undercover cop who still wants to be popular with the kids. Nandre recently celebrated his 31st birthday. Happy birthday! It's weird that you're 31 because you simultaneously look like you're in the 3rd grade, but also that you're dying in hospice. Nandre tells this story about his grandma's vagina. That's not a story, Nandre. It's incest, and you didn't have to tell it. We can already tell. We already know.
My mom's watching.
Hey. Samwitch. I guess we know what Amaranth's career would look like if she actually got the divorce. Samwitch dresses like an e-girl that's not hot enough for an OnlyFans. But not even a drag queen could give Samwitch cleavage. Couldn't do it. They're very talented. Samwitch loves Olive Garden. You love it. You do.
I do.
And it makes a lot of sense. It actually reminds me of her. It smells like cheese and a lot of old men come in it. It must be tough to live with Nandre. Are you guys always fighting over bras? At least we know Samwitch isn't a pick-me girl since she never gets picked. Samwitch has a series, it's really good, you should check it out, where she interviews people in a tiny tent, which is great practice for when she gets divorced again and has no home. I'll be surprised if PointCrow has any of his own jokes tonight since his YouTube channel is just knockoffs of others. PointCrow's the type of guy to say thank you after sex. PointCrow tells women that he's a speedrunner, so then the sex makes more sense. If Legend of Zelda never came out, PointCrow would be more poor than Nandre. It's been a really stressful year for you with all the cease and desists from Nintendo. What you didn't know, though, is it's not from using their content. They were just so embarrassed. They were like, please stop. Jesus. PointCrow's a big meta chaser. So when he sees the hot new thing, he jumps on the bandwagon. So we saw XQC and Adept break up. Amaranth and her husband. Him and Small Ant. The Small Ant breakup came as like a huge surprise to me though, because you guys kind of look like you're related. And you seem like you come from the type of family that wants to keep it in the family. PointCrow's been streaming for so long, he's seen the phase out of like the F slur, the R word, telling people to kill themselves. But I think still all three apply to you.
Put me in the grave, man. Kill me for real.
PointCrow loves to make video game streams more difficult, whether it be modding them or making us actually watch and play them. It's not the gameplay, it's your voice. PointCrow is a Nintendo adult, which is way worse than being a Disney adult, okay? I'm a Disney adult. We go to theme parks. You're not allowed 50 feet from them. And don't worry, I didn't forget. I brought PointCrow a present. Give me a second.
What is this?
Since you've never touched one of these, thanks for having me.
They're a little smaller. Jesus Christ.
How do you even follow that? What the fuck?
This will go great with my bra.
I'm gonna need that back.
What is there to say about Eric that hasn't already been said here tonight or by his YouTube comments? My favorite default me, Eric PointCrow. In the 4 years that I've known him, Eric has managed to blunder every queen he's ever encountered. Everyone, all of them. You know, it's just taken all of that to realize that no amount of getting punched in the head is ever gonna knock any sense into you. Eric is my best friend. That's true. That part's true. Not a joke there. But Eric is my best friend in the way that your dog is your best friend. Like, you're keeping him alive. Of course he loves you. Obviously. But really, I'm so grateful for my job. A lot of people here will say I'm only in this job for the money, and they're right. But hey, it's not every day you get to spend $10,000 telling your boss he sucks, and it's even rarer that if you do a great job, you might get a raise and maybe health insurance. Most of these roasts are just things I would already say to Eric's face, so this is like the best.
That's true.
If you would have told me 4 years ago that I would be working with any of these creators, PointCrow, Cutie Cinderella, dougdoug, the other ones, I would have said, who the fuck are those people? Really. And if you ask any normal person today, they would say the exact same thing. It's actually crazy that any of you guys think you're relevant enough for roasts. Most of these people use ChatGPT to make theirs. Eric's looks have led to him being compared to Logic, Keith from the Try Guys, Failboat, Scott the Woz, you name it. But Eric differentiates himself from these other white brunette men by being untalented and unfunny. Something not a lot of people know about Eric is that he really struggles with imposter syndrome and low self-esteem. And even less people know that he should. Eric worries a lot about his content and the longevity of his channel. What creator doesn't? But whenever Eric gets in his own head about view count, I just remind him that he'll always have one person eagerly waiting for that next video, Nintendo. Besides making this entire show for you, driving 4 hours to buy a casket off of Facebook Marketplace, and staying on budget despite your fucking insane requests for tonight, my gift for you, Eric.
Oh no.
My gift for you is a pacifier. Taking care of every aspect of your life is a lot like taking care of an infant. A couple people have already made the joke tonight. But Eric needs to eat every 2 hours, sleeps for 16 hours at a time, and is literally helpless without me. It's just like an infant. It's just like an infant. The sad thing is, I think if you actually died tomorrow, I think you'd still be haunting me. You'd be making me work overtime without hazard pay, and I'd be the fucking idiot checking the Ouija board for the next project. So. All right, time to hear from the bird brain himself. Let's get some applause. Give it up for the man with absolutely no plan. PointCrow.
Wear the bra.
God, this was a mistake. Oh my God. Well, friends, loved ones, nandre. Thank you for all the kind words you've said today. I thought you guys would all be a little nicer speaking at my funeral, so let me make this yours too. Sam, you've been through a lot this year. I mean, like when she moved to LA, she ended up having her car stolen. It took us all by surprise. We didn't even know you could afford a car.
I got it in the divorce.
That's not a joke.
But when she got the vehicle back, though, it was an absolute mess. There was a homeless guy living in it, and somehow it wasn't nandre. I mean, I feel bad for her. The girl needs a win, but I think she's a shoo-in for the Speedrunner of the Year award next year. I mean, right after moving to LA, it took her just about 30 minutes to get her lips done. What a record! But hey, it's always a party being around you with those balloons on your face. It's yet another unrealistic expectation for women, not because they want to be like you, but because we didn't expect you to approve. Hey, it's not our fault that her ex-husband took her self-confidence in the divorce. So as most of you know, Cutie is a huge fan of Taylor Swift. I mean, she loves Taylor's version so much, she decided to do Cutie's version of everyone else's ideas. I mean, she's so desperate for compliments, the reason she put Cutie in her name is because no one else was going to call her that. Jokes aside, I'm really proud of what she's been able to do these past few years. Cutie's influence has really changed the streaming industry. And with all that fame, I'm excited to tell Cutie tonight that her and Taylor Swift were featured on a website together. I'm just not going to be the one to tell her which website it was.
Nandre talked about it earlier.
This is what it's like going last. There's a long list of other jokes I can make about Cutie, but just to speed that process up, we just gave everyone here a copy of the DSM-5. Stanz is here, everyone. Unfortunately, one of three, or well, now two members of Off-Brand. When I was coming up with the idea for the funeral, I was honestly afraid that Stanz wouldn't make it. Not because he'd be late, but because I wasn't sure he'd make it up the stairs at his age. No, I'm really glad you're here. It was tough to get him, but he agreed to come here only because we told him Northern Line was invited first. Stanz's wife, Rochelle, is here tonight as well. Yeah! Turns out chess boxing wasn't the only place he was punching up.
That's not a joke.
Stanz is a good friend, and I have a lot of respect for his content. He has a lot of viewers on his main channel. Actually, debatable. And I know a lot of people watch his other channel, Stanz But Gaming. I just have one question for you, dude. When's the debut of Stanz But Entertaining? Non, thank you for taking time off, not making content to be here today. Don't worry, you weren't going to hit Partner Plus anyways. Besides the obvious charity case, I am so happy I can help Nandre live out one of his sexual fantasies by having a room full of people shit on him. It's taken him a lot to get here. I mean, he moved
to LA all the way from Chicago. Chicago, dude. It's just insane that you lived so close to the bean and still can't find it on a woman. Huge props, though. His stream has blown up pretty recently. But I can't shake the feeling that Nandre creating content on Twitch feels like when Hollywood casts someone who's 35 to play a high schooler. It's crazy. Nandre streams almost 12 hours every day. He reacts a lot, plays a lot of games, and has some great stories. But my favorite part is when he deep throats McDoubles for subs, because it's the only time he actually shuts the fuck up. Just gonna let that play. Doug, thank you for speaking tonight. Some of you may know that Doug's podcast is called Friends Till Death, which makes what I'm about to say a lot easier because I just died so I can stop pretending to be his friend. Let's be real, I'd be surprised if Doug wrote any of his jokes tonight, considering his Twitch chat makes most of them for him. But hey, congrats to Doug for winning the League of Your Own Streamer Award at the Streamer Awards this year. It's not every day you get congratulations for being over 30 and still single. I mean, dude, let me give you some advice, okay? Your videos do not double up as pickup lines, okay? You're not supposed to tell a woman, I'll have what he's having, and then yell rigged after completing your speedrun. And saving the worst for last, Abby. So Abby got LASIK recently, which is pretty exciting. Yeah. Call me surprised she didn't off herself after she looked in the mirror for the first time. Hey, but Abby, don't get discouraged, okay? There's someone out there for everyone. For you, it just happens to be a therapist.
It's true.
No, guys, I'm kidding. I really like having Abby around. I mean, I thought I'd just say that because her mom never did. Speaking of disapproval from her mom, Abby came out as bisexual a while ago. Really proud of her, right? Bisexuality, from what I know, can look a little bit different for everyone, but for her, it seems to look like a tub of ice cream, a bottle of Valium, a rope, and a high ceiling. So... So I want to say thank you for everyone attending my funeral. Thank God when I'm actually dead, I won't have to pretend to like you guys anymore. I want to give a huge thanks, though, to some of the people from Team PointCrow that worked on this project. Like Nance, who's just using me to get to Taylor Swift. And Adam, the person we hired to promote company diversity. Also, thank you to Abby, the backbone of this operation, and the person who would also like to break my back. No, really, like, if I have an actual funeral, it's because I forgot to do the dishes at home again. But thank you also for the team at JK Productions, who is producing this event, who would rather be doing an event for Ludwig right now. And most of all, thank you, Twitch chat. Because without you guys, how else will I know how far you can beat a dead joke into the ground?
But now it's time to tell you that my funeral is officially sponsored by Factor Meals. As a streamer, I can't cook at all, I don't clean up after myself, and I'm super lazy. With Factor, simply choose your menu and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door. It's so easy, even a bro small-brained YouTuber could do it. Who wrote this? I used to be in such a rush trying to order something or make something quick right before my streams, but that all changed when I found out about Factor. My now ex-friend dougdoug recommended them to me because they have a lot of great keto options, and after trying them out, they've become a staple in my routine. My dumbass has gotten sick so many times after eating so many oysters on delivery service apps that after switching to Factor, I haven't thrown up once. What? We can't put this in the video. Factor saves me time and alleviates stress. Factor's fresh, never frozen, and ready in about 2 minutes. Just throw it in the microwave and voila. That's all I can really handle right now. Factor has a wide rotation of delicious options, no matter your lifestyle. So if you're like me, hey, it's worth a try. Use code PointCrow50 for 50% off your first box, or click the link in the description. Thank you. Drive safe and have a good night.